The Hunter's Reflection, Part 1. The hidden prize. The wasteland stretched endlessly under the pale morning sun, its cracked earth telling stories of ancient battles between humans and the elements. Marcus Kane adjusted his worn leather gloves and checked his scanner again. 3 days of tracking had led him to this desolate sector outside New Terra Colony, following rumors of crashed ships and abandoned tech. OT8. Marcus had the weathered look of a man who'd seen too much. His dark hair showed early streaks of grey, and a jagged scar ran from his left temple to his jaw, a souvenir from his days with the Colonial Defense Force. But those days were long behind him. Now he hunted salvage, not enemies. The scanner beeped softly, detecting trace amounts of refined metals ahead. Marcus quickened his pace, boots crunching on the brittle ground. Each successful salvage run brought him closer to affording the next round of treatments for Tommy. His 12-year-old son battled a rare blood disorder that required regular gene therapy sessions. The medical bills were crushing, even with the colony's basic healthcare support. "Come on, give me something good," Marcus muttered to himself, following the scanner's guidance toward a cluster of twisted rock formations. The readings grew stronger as he approached what looked like a natural cave system, but something felt wrong. The rocks were too perfectly arranged, their surfaces too smooth. Marcus had spent enough time in combat zones to recognize camouflage. When he saw it, he pulled out his rifle, a reliable plasma weapon he'd kept from his military service, and approached with careful steps. The scanner was going crazy now, detecting massive amounts of refined alloys and active energy signatures. This wasn't just salvage. This was a functioning vessel, hidden beneath sophisticated concealment technology. Marcus circled the area, looking for seams or entry points. His trained eye caught subtle variations in the rock texture, places where the illusion wasn't quite perfect. He pressed his hand against one section, and his fingers passed through what appeared to be solid stone. Holographic projection, he breathed. Advanced stuff, way beyond human technology. This was alien tech, the kind that could set him up for life if he could claim it before the colonial authority arrived. He squeezed through the false rock face and found himself standing before a sleek, dark vessel unlike anything in human space fleets. The ship was roughly 40 meters long, with organic curves that seemed to flow like water frozen in time. Soft blue lights pulsed along its hull in hypnotic patterns. Marcus activated his scanner's recording function, evidence of first contact. With alien technology would be valuable to the right buyers, even if he couldn't salvage the ship itself. He approached what looked like an airlock, noting the strange symbols etched around its frame. To his surprise, the airlock responded to his presence, cycling open with a soft hiss. The atmosphere inside was breathable, according to his suit's sensors. Marcus hesitated. Every instinct told him to call this in to Colonial Command, but Tommy's latest medical bills flashed in his mind. The boy needed another treatment within the week, and Marcus was still 3,000 credits short. He stepped inside. The interior was illuminated by the same soft blue light as the exterior. The walls seemed to pulse gently, as if the ship were alive. Marcus moved through what appeared to be a cargo area, his rifle ready. Storage containers lined the walls, their contents hidden behind translucent barriers. The scanner detected life signs ahead. Human life signs. Marcus froze. How could there be humans aboard an alien vessel in the middle of nowhere? Pirates, maybe, who'd claimed the ship first. He advanced cautiously toward the source of the readings, weapon raised. The corridor opened into a larger chamber that looked like a command center. Advanced displays showed star charts and alien text scrolling past in patterns that hurt to look at. And sitting in what appeared to be the captain's chair, back turned to Marcus, was a human figure. "Don't move," Marcus called out, aiming his rifle at the seated figure. "Turn around slowly." The figure complied, rotating the chair to face him. Marcus nearly dropped his weapon. He was looking at himself. The man in the chair had Marcus's face, his build, even the same scar running from temple to jaw. The only differences were the clothes. This other Marcus wore a strange form-fitting suit of dark material that seemed to shift colors in the alien light. "Hello, Marcus," the duplicate said calmly. "I've been wondering when you'd find this place." Marcus's mind reeled. What the hell is this? Some kind of trick? No trick. The other Marcus stood slowly, hands visible and empty. "Though I understand your confusion, I had the same reaction when I first learned the truth about what I am, what you are." Marcus kept his rifle trained on his doppelganger, though his hands were shaking now. "You're me. How is that possible?" "I'm a copy of you, created by the beings who built this ship." The duplicate gestured to the alien technology surrounding them. "They call themselves the Zephyrians. They've been studying human colonies for years, learning how to replicate our species." Marcus's logical mind rejected the explanation, but the evidence was standing right in front of him. "That's impossible. Cloning technology isn't that advanced." "Human cloning technology isn't," the other Marcus agreed, "but the Zephyrians have been perfecting biological replication for centuries. They can create a perfect duplicate of any species, complete with memories and personality." "Why?" Marcus demanded. "Why would they want to copy humans, the duplicates?" Expression darkened. "Infiltration. They're planning something big, Marcus. An invasion, maybe, or some kind of long-term conquest. They need agents who can move freely through human space without detection." Marcus felt sick. "You're saying there are more copies? More duplicates walking around? Dozens, maybe hundreds. I don't know the full scope of their operation." The other Marcus moved to one of the control panels, his movements eerily familiar. "I only know about my own situation because something went wrong with my programming." Programming. Zephyrian duplicates are designed to be completely loyal to their creators. We're supposed to follow orders without question, report back on human activities, and prepare for whatever they're planning. The duplicate turned back to Marcus. "But something in my neural pathways didn't take properly. I started thinking for myself, questioning my mission." Marcus lowered his rifle slightly. "What happened to the original? What happened to me?" "You were captured 6 months ago during a salvage run in the Outer Rim. The Zephyrians intercepted your ship, scanned your memories, and created me. They kept you alive for continued neural mapping, but I don't know where you're being held." 6 months ago, Marcus remembered that period vividly. It was when Tommy's condition had first been diagnosed. He'd been taking more dangerous salvage jobs, venturing into contested space to find valuable tech. But his memories of that time were clear and continuous. There were no gaps, no missing periods. "You're lying," Marcus said. "I remember everything from 6 months ago. I was never captured." The duplicate looked puzzled. "That's impossible. I have clear memories of the capture, the scanning process. I watched it happen to you." "Then you're not a copy of me," Marcus realized. "You're something else." "Wait." The other Marcus activated one of the alien displays, bringing up what looked like a medical readout. "This is strange. According to the ship's records, there were 2 capture events. 2 different Marcus Kanes. Marcus felt his blood turn to ice. 2 captures. The first one was 6 months ago, just like I remembered. But there was a second capture 3 days ago. The Zephyrians took another Marcus Kane from Grid Sector 7, near New Terra Colony. That's impossible. I've been tracking salvage for 3 days. I would remember being captured. The duplicate stared at the alien readouts, his face pale. Marcus, what if neither of us is the original? What if we're both copies? The possibility hit Marcus like a physical blow. His memories felt real, his emotions genuine. Tommy's illness, his desperate need for credits, his military background, all of it seemed completely authentic. But if alien technology could create perfect duplicates, how would he know if his memories were real or implanted? No, Marcus said firmly. I'm real. I have to be real. That's what I thought too, the duplicate replied, until I found evidence. That suggested otherwise. He activated another display, showing what appeared to be security footage. Marcus watched in horror as he saw himself, or someone who looked exactly like him, unconscious on an alien operating table, while strange beings worked around him. This is me, the duplicate explained. My creation, but look at the timestamp. Marcus squinted at the alien symbols. I can't read that. I've learned to interpret some of their language. This footage is from 3 days ago, the same time you started tracking salvage in this area. You're saying I was created 3 days ago? Marcus shook his head. That's impossible. I have years of memories. So do I, but memories can be fabricated, Marcus. The Zephyrians are experts at creating complete psychological profiles. Marcus felt reality shifting around him. If this was true, then everything he thought he knew about himself was a lie. His love for Tommy, his grief over his wife's death in the war, his pride in his military service, all of it could be artificial constructs designed to make him a more effective infiltrator. Why are you telling me this? Marcus asked. If you're supposed to be loyal to these Zephyrians, why reveal their plan? Because I broke free of their programming, the duplicate explained. And because I realized something important, even if we're both copies, even if our memories are fake, we're still real people now. We have consciousness, free will, the ability to choose our own path. Before Marcus could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. The alien displays flashed urgent warnings in the strange Zephyrian script. What's happening? Marcus demanded. The duplicate's face went white as he read the displays. They've found us. Zephyrian ships are approaching. They're coming to collect their duplicates and eliminate any evidence of their operation. Marcus felt a surge of adrenaline. Real or not, he wasn't going down without a fight. How long do we have? Maybe 10 minutes before they arrive. The duplicate moved to what appeared to be a weapons control station. This ship has defensive capabilities, but we're outnumbered. Can we escape? Maybe. The ship's fast, and I've learned some of the control systems. But Marcus, even if we get away, where do we go? If we're both duplicates, the human colonies won't trust us, and the Zephyrians will never stop hunting us. Marcus thought of Tommy, lying in a hospital bed, waiting for his father to return with enough credits for the next treatment. Real or not, those feelings were his now. That love was genuine, even if its origins were artificial. We go home, Marcus said firmly. We warn the colonies about the Zephyrian infiltration, and we find a way to save my son. Asterisk, mirror of deception. Zephyrian ships appeared on the alien displays as ominous red dots, closing fast on their position. Marcus watched his duplicate. He still couldn't think of him as anything else. Work frantically at the control stations, bringing the ships. Systems online? How do you know how to operate this thing? Marcus asked, keeping his rifle ready despite their temporary alliance. The memories they gave me include basic Zephyrian technology training. The duplicate replied, his hands moving across controls. That looked like liquid mercury. They wanted their infiltrators to be able to use their equipment if necessary. The ship shuddered as it lifted off, the holographic camouflage failing in a cascade of sparks. Through the viewports, Marcus could see 3 sleek vessels approaching, their hulls gleaming with an oily iridescence that hurt to look at directly. Are those the Zephyrians? Marcus had never seen an alien ship before, despite years of military service. First contact scenarios had always been theoretical. Those are their scout ships, fast, heavily armed, and nearly impossible to outrun. The duplicate's face was grim as he tried to coax more speed from their stolen vessel. But this is one of their science ships. It has some advantages. Energy beams lanced past their hull, brilliant purple streams that left after images burned into Marcus's retinas. The ship's defensive systems activated automatically, raising some kind of energy barrier that deflected the worst of the attacks. They're not trying to destroy us, the duplicate observed. They want us alive. For what? Study. They need to understand how I broke free of their programming so they can prevent it from happening again. Marcus strapped himself into what he hoped was a passenger seat as the ship bucked and rolled through evasive maneuvers. Tell me about these Zephyrians. What do they want with humanity? From what I could piece together from their database, they're explorers of a sort, but not the peaceful kind. The duplicate's hands flew over the controls as more energy beams lit up space around them. They find promising species and study them, learning everything about their biology, psychology, and technology. Then they move in. Invasion, more like absorption. They don't want to destroy humanity. They want to become us, to take our place so completely that no one notices the difference. A massive energy blast struck their shields, causing sparks to fly from several control panels. The ship's systems flickered, and their speed began to drop. How many human colonies do they know about? Marcus asked, dreading the answer. All of them. New Terra, Armstrong Station, the mining worlds, even Earth itself. They've been watching us for decades. Marcus felt sick. Humanity had always known that first contact with aliens was inevitable, but most people had imagined it would be peaceful, a meeting of equals exploring the galaxy together. The reality was far more sinister. There has to be a way to stop them. Marcus said, some weakness we can exploit, maybe. The duplicate brought up a tactical display showing their pursuers. Their technology is superior to ours in most ways, but they have one major limitation. They're completely dependent on their replication technology. They can't function as a species without the ability to copy other life forms. So, if we could destroy their replication facilities, it would cripple their entire operation. But those facilities are heavily guarded, and we don't even know where they are. Another barrage of energy beams struck their shields. This time, the barriers flickered and failed completely. The next shot would tear through their hull like paper. Can this ship jump to hyperspace? Marcus asked desperately. Yes, but the Zephyr can track hyperspace signatures. They'll follow us wherever we go. Then we don't run. Marcus unbuckled himself and moved to what looked like a weapons control station. We fight, Marcus. We can't win against 3 ships. Maybe not, but we can make them pay for taking us down. The duplicate stared at him for a moment, then nodded grimly. "You're right. If we're going to die, let's die fighting." Together, they began activating the ship's offensive systems. Marcus found the controls surprisingly intuitive, as if his duplicate's partial knowledge was somehow bleeding through to him. Energy cannons emerged from hidden ports along the hull, tracking toward their attackers. "Fire," the duplicate shouted. "Brilliant." Beams of purple energy streaked toward the nearest Zephyrian ship, catching it by surprise. The alien vessel's shields flared and failed, and one of Marcus's shots punched through its hull. The ship spun out of control, atmosphere venting from multiple breaches. "One down," Marcus said grimly, but the other two ships had adjusted their tactics, splitting up to attack from different angles. Their return fire was devastating, overwhelming the stolen ship's remaining defenses. Explosions rocked the vessel as systems failed throughout the hull. "We're losing life support," the duplicate reported. "Hull breaches on multiple decks." Marcus kept firing, managing to damage one of the remaining attackers, but it wasn't enough. Their ship was dying around them. "Wait," the duplicate said suddenly, studying one of the displays. "I'm detecting something else. A larger ship, approaching fast." Marcus looked at the tactical screen and saw a massive contact moving toward their position. Another Zephyrian ship. "No, the sensor signature is wrong. It's ... human." The newcomer dropped out of hyperspace in a blaze of blue light, revealing itself to be a Colonial Defense Force heavy cruiser. Its weapon batteries were already charging as it oriented toward the alien ships. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the CDF, defiant." A voice crackled over the comm system. "Unknown vessels, you are ordered to stand down immediately." The Zephyrian ships responded by opening fire on the human cruiser. It was a mistake. The Defiant's shields absorbed the alien energy beams easily, and its return fire was devastating. Massive kinetic projectiles tore through the Zephyrian vessels, reducing them to expanding clouds of debris within seconds. "Well," Marcus said, slumping back in his chair, "that was unexpected." The duplicate was studying the communications panel. "They're hailing us." "Put them through, Captain Ch." Voice filled the ship's bridge. "This is the Defiant 2 unknown vessel. Identify yourself immediately." Marcus looked at his duplicate, unsure how to explain their situation. "How do you tell a Colonial Defense Force captain that you're both artificial copies of the same person?" "This is Marcus Kane," he said finally. "Civilian salvage operator. We've got a situation here that you need to know about." "Marcus Kane." There was surprise in the captain's voice. "Are you related to Tommy Kane, patient at New Terra Medical?" Marcus's heart nearly stopped. "He's my son. How do you know about Tommy?" "Mr. Kane, I have some difficult news. Your son's condition deteriorated rapidly yesterday. The doctors sent out an emergency message looking for you, but you couldn't be located. I'm sorry to tell you that Tommy passed away 6 hours ago." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. He felt the blood drain from his face, his vision blurring. Tommy was dead. His son, the reason for everything he'd done, was gone. "No," he whispered. "That's not possible. I was going to save him. I was going to get the credits for his treatment." The duplicate placed a hand on his shoulder. "Marcus, I'm sorry, but..." Something was wrong. The duplicate didn't look surprised by the news. If anything, he looked relieved. "You knew," Marcus realized. "You knew Tommy was dead." The duplicate's expression became guarded. "I suspected. How could you suspect? You said you were created from my memories." I was, but not recent memories. The Zephyrians based me on neural scans taken when you were first captured 6 months ago. I have no memories of Tommy's illness getting worse. Marcus stared at his double pieces of a horrible puzzle clicking into place. You don't care about Tommy at all, do you? You can't, because in your memories, he was healthy. Marcus, that's not fair. Just because I don't have the emotional connection doesn't mean I don't understand. You're still working for them. The realization hit Marcus like a thunderbolt. This whole thing was a setup. You led me here, fed me that story about breaking free of their programming. But you're still loyal to the Zephyrians. The duplicate's hand moved toward a concealed weapon, but Marcus was faster. His rifle was already trained on his doppelganger's chest. Very good, the duplicate said, his voice changing. The desperate, confused tone was gone, replaced by something cold and mechanical. I was beginning to wonder if you'd figure it out. The attacking ships weren't trying to capture us. They were trying to make the deception look real. Exactly, the Zephyrians needed to test their latest infiltration protocol. They created you with memories designed to make you desperate, willing to take risks to save your dying son. Then they arranged for you to find this ship, encounter me, and ultimately be rescued by human forces. Marcus felt sick, and now I'm supposed to go back to the colonies as their spy, with a perfect cover story. You discovered evidence of alien infiltration, fought bravely against the invaders, and barely escaped with crucial intelligence. Who would suspect that you're actually one of their agents? Except I'm not, Marcus said firmly. I broke free, just like you claimed to do. The duplicate smiled coldly. Did you? Are you sure? How do you know that your rebellion isn't just another layer of programming designed to make you more convincing? The question sent chills down Marcus's spine. How could he tell the difference between genuine free will and sophisticated programming? His love for Tommy felt real, but the duplicate had said it was based on artificial memories. His hatred of the Zephyrians was genuine, but what if that was programmed too? It doesn't matter, Marcus said. Real or artificial, I'm making my own choice. I'm going to warn the colonies about what's coming. With what proof? This ship. Its database has been wiped clean. The attacking vessels were destroyed. You have nothing but your word. Marcus realized the duplicate was right. Without evidence, his story would sound like the ravings of a shell-shocked salvage hunter. But there was one piece of proof the Zephyrians hadn't counted on. I have you, Marcus said, a perfect duplicate. Proof that their replication technology works. You'd have to take me alive for that. I intend to. The duplicate's hand moved toward his weapon again, but Marcus was ready. He fired once, the plasma beam catching his doppelganger in the shoulder and spinning him around. The duplicate collapsed, clutching his wounded arm. CDF defiant, this is Marcus Kane, he said into the comm system. I need immediate medical attention for a prisoner, and I need to speak with colonial intelligence as soon as possible. What I'm about to tell you is going to change everything. As the Defiance shuttle bay opened to receive them, Marcus looked down at his wounded duplicate. Real or artificial, human or alien creation, he was still himself. And he was going to make sure humanity was ready for what was coming. The war with the Zephyrians was about to begin, and Marcus Kane, whichever version he really was, intended to be ready for it.